Hello, my name is PAMELA JOHANNI Herrera. I currently I'm majoring in law, and this is my 8th semester in Universidad Anáhuac Norte. So first of all, I want to explain what circular economy is. It's an economic model that keeps resources in use for as long as possible by designing out waste through reuse, repair, recycling, and regeneration. Whereas linear economy follows a take, make, dispose approach that consumes resources and generates waste. Now I want to talk more about the video, A New Story of the Earth. Basically, this video captures the friction between our take, make, waste culture and the reality of finite planet. For too long, I feel like we have treated nature as a background setting for the economy, rather than the very foundation of it. A true paradigm shift means moving away from the linear model and of extraction and toward a circular economy, one that mimics nature itself, where waste doesn't need to exist because every output becomes a new beginning. We need to stop asking how we can exploit resources and start asking how we can store them. Sustainability isn't just about doing less damage. It's about redesigning our entire social operating system to be regenerated by design. It's a shift from the beginning conquerors of nature to being participants of it. And lastly, I want to talk about TED Talk of Ellen MacArthur. Basically, and give some examples of how this video related a lot for myself. So basically, in her TED Talk, MacArthur explained how her experience sailing solo around the world fundamentally shaped her in her understanding of limits and resource dependency. Because alone in the sea, when she was alone by herself for months, she had to survive using only what she had carried with her from the beginning. Fuel, food, and materials were finite, and poor planning could not be corrected later. So this forced her to confront the true meaning of secrecy and efficiency. When she returned to land, she recognized that the global economy operates under the same constraints, yet it is designed as if resources were unlimited, which is not true. This realization led her to challenge the linear take, make, dispose model and advocate for a circular economy that keeps materials in use and eliminates waste by design. So her story resonated with me because I have experienced similar moments on such a smaller scale, but still, where limits became unavoidable and revealing. For example, during my work, I once had to file a document at court with a strict time deadline of 12 p.m. So once I realized that I had lost the receipt I needed to validate to paid copies, it was already too late to reprocess the payment. That moment made me realize and aware of how finite time and resources are, and how systems often leave no margin for error. Much like MacArthur at sea, there was no option to get more. Once my deadline passed, only what I prepared in advance mattered. I have also become more conscious of waste in everyday consumption. While grocery shopping, I increasingly notice how much unnecessary packaging products have and how much it ends up discarded almost immediately. This awareness mirrors MacArthur's realization that value is constantly being lost in our current economy system. Another realization relates to consumption habits. At times, I have felt the impulse to replace old items simply because something newer exists, not because the original no longer works. Finally, I see circular economy reflected in small but intentional decisions at work. When my colleague and I need to travel to the same location, we often choose to go together to reuse fuel use and improve efficiency. Personally, I can continue to make more intentional consumption choices, prioritizing durable goods. Professionally, I can promote efficiently by planning ahead and reducing duplication of resources. And systematically, I can apply circular thinking of how processes are designed.